Hey everybody, welcome to our part 2 of this $30 challenge. If you watched last week's video, you know that I went to both ALDI and Dollar Tree and spent $30 at both. I'm going to be preparing 4 meals, so 4 dinners and 2 breakfasts, and see how we do when we compare. And what'll be different in this video is that I'm actually going to do a per person cost breakdown for every single meal, so you can see like how you can feed your family good, healthy, hearty meals for pennies on the dollar. Welcome to my channel. I am Wendy and I am one half of the House of 5 podcast. We are all about helping moms and dads on the road to financial independence, save more, spend less, and build wealth. And one of the ways that our family has been able to cut our expenses drastically so that we can move that money over into wealth building was to cut our food budget. Cutting our food budget doesn't mean that we don't still eat wonderful, delicious meals. The meals that I'm going to show on today's video, they're some of our faster go-to meals. Some go in the crock, some we can whip up in 15-20 minutes. Let's get started. All right, so we just left both Aldi and the 99-cent store. We did really well in Aldi. We did go $1 over, and when I get home, I'll show you everything that we got. I was very disappointed in Dollar Tree, and they didn't have a really good selection of food department in this one. So we didn't get any fresh vegetables. We didn't get anything like potatoes or cabbage. So in the store, I had to improvise, and once I get home and pull everything out and show you what we got, I'll be able to tell you the variation in the meal that we're going to have for Dollar Tree. So we'll see you when we get back to the house. So we are back here in my kitchen. I have the menu for this week up on the board. What we shot for today was Monday through Thursday meals. We in our house do Pizza Friday every Friday, and then the weekends we usually kind of just play it by ear with like leftovers or soup or hamburgers and hot dogs. So the focus of this video is going to be our $30 challenge at Aldi and Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start out at Aldi. This is everything that we were able to get at Aldi for the 4 meals that we're going to start out with, which is going to be the chili with cornbread. We're going to do red beans and rice, as well as taco pie, and then cabbage, potatoes, and sausage. Then we're also going to be having muffins. So if we look at our Aldi receipt, we went over by $1, but we did get just about everything when we take into account what I also have in my pantry to kind of help fill things out. I was not so successful at the Dollar Tree. We were on target at the Dollar Tree. See right there, and even $30. They did not have a really good food section. I was a little disappointed. We did not get any kind of fresh vegetables like potatoes or cabbage. We did find these nice frozen blueberries. So I think instead of banana muffins, I'm going to do blueberry muffins. They did not have any kind of ground beef or turkey, but they did have this ground sausage. So I'm going to try and make that work for 2 of the meals, as well as the smoked sausage. It's not the best quality, but that will work for 2 of the meals as well. We're able to get a couple extras. So we were able to get this instant cornbread mix, which we'll use pantry items. And then I also got some corn since we weren't able to get cabbage. And then I also got applesauce there. We'll use that to make our muffins nice and moist. All right, over here I've got the packages of smoked sausage all diced up and separated out. It's going to go into 3 different meals. That small pile over there is going to be for the egg cups, and then we've got one of the bigger piles that's going to be for the red beans and rice, and then the other big pile is going to be for the corn and potatoes. Over here, since Dollar Tree did not have potatoes or cabbage, I'm using the other half of the potatoes that we bought at Aldi to kind of bulk up the sausage as well as the corn. And as soon as those potatoes get to be just about done, I'll go ahead and add the sausage. All right, our potatoes and sausage and corn is done. What I've done is once the potatoes were tender and things started browning, I went ahead and added the seasoning. I did a little salt, pepper, some paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder, and it is delicious. All right, so what we've got going on over here is we've got those 4 chubs of sausage from the Dollar Tree. We're going to use half of it in one dish and the other half in another. Obviously, that really doesn't belong to that pan. And then over here, we've got, ouch, that's hot. We've got the red dry beans, and I put them on high and then turned it off, and those are going to sit for a little while to get tender. We'll make the red beans. And then over here, we've got 2 different batches of chili going. This one over here is going to be our ALDI chili. It's going to be a vegetarian chili with no meat. And then this one right here is going to be our Dollar Tree chili with the dry beans. And because of that, we're going to do this one in the Instapot. We're going to put 2 of the chubs of sausage in this one right here. And then the remaining 2 chubs will be for the taco pie that we're going to do. We'll get those started in a second. I'm actually using breakfast sausage because that is what the Dollar Tree had. And since I'm using this for both the chili and for the taco pie, I'm going to run down the spices I have in there. I do not use a store-bought taco seasoning. I use the things that I already have in my pantry, like chili powder, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, coriander, oregano, a little bit of cayenne, some minced onion, and then there's also some fresh minced garlic in there. I'm hoping that that will take away some of the breakfast sausage flavor. Usually, for the taco pie, I'll use a ground turkey, and for the chili, I'll use a ground turkey or a mild Italian sausage as well. So I'm hoping it should turn out okay. Sausage, you just can't not like sausage. So we'll let this brown up a little bit. If you don't have one of these from the Dollar Tree, you need to get one. They are the best for getting your meat all ground up efficiently. All right, so over here we've got our final 2 dinner items going for Dollar Tree. This is going to be our red beans and rice. I boiled the beans on high, let them set for several hours. So now I'm going to actually do the cooking part of it, where I'm going to put in bay leaves and have this come to a boil for about 30 minutes. And then I'll add the sausage and seasoning, and we'll let that simmer until all the water is gone. The red beans and rice turned out so good. I didn't have things like bell peppers or anything like that. You could absolutely put those in there. It'd be really good. And then I would just serve this over just plain old white rice, or you can make some dirty rice. That's another great idea. So here is my experience with that. It is really good. This is the one that has the actual meat in it. This was all the dry beans. I let the Instapot cook how it's supposed to, and then when I checked it, it had taken all the water out and was super dry, and the beans were still hard. So what I ended up doing was turning it off and putting it back on slow cooker and adding some water to it and letting it cook on slow for another couple hours, and now it's perfect. Tastes great. So I'm going to get started on the egg cups. We're going to leave 2 eggs from each dozen behind for the muffins. So I'll be doing for each of the Aldi and the Dollar Tree egg cups, I'll be using 10 eggs apiece. Over here we have our egg cups. I completely forgot to add in the sausage into these. So these just have broccoli, eggs, cheese, and then I put a little bit of cream in the eggs when I beat the eggs. But ideally these were supposed to have sausage. I just spaced it. So these are done. They're done when the egg is firm and a little golden on the top. All right, so we are going to make the last of our treats, and this is going to be with the Dollar Tree items. I'm going to be making oatmeal blueberry muffins. The recipe called for milk. I did not have milk, but what I did have in my refrigerator was sour cream, so I'm going to use that. I also did not have, it calls for 3 cups of blueberries. I do not have 3 cups. So I'm going to, I think I have about 2 cups. So I'm going to use what I have, and then I think I'm going to top it off with some applesauce and see how that goes. The pantry items that I'm using in this recipe are, you know, all the things that we should have in our pantry, things like flour, brown sugar, baking powder. Then I had butter, but if you don't have butter, you can use any oil. Will work really, really well. So I'll put the measurements in the screen. I'm going to go ahead and mix up the oats and the flour and the baking powder with the wet ingredients, which were 1.5 cups. It should have been either milk or buttermilk. I'm using sour cream. Same thing with the brown sugar. I could have used regular sugar. I wanted to use brown sugar. And then blueberries in. Oh, these are going to be so good. I think I'm just going to use 1 thing of applesauce. I think 1 will be enough. Hopefully these turn out moist. Okay, let's see how this looks. I doubled the recipe. So when I put the recipe on the screen, I'll put it at just a double measurements because I wanted to get 2 pounds out of it. The banana muffins that I did last time only produced 12, and they were literally gone in a day. That's what happens when you have 5 men in the house. Oh, these look good. The sour cream and the blueberry is going to go really good together. When I was young, one of my very first jobs was at Marie Callender's. As I was saying, one of my very, very first jobs was at Marie Callender's, and they have this pie that is called a sour cream blueberry pie. Oh my word. It is scrum diddly umptious. So I don't have any worries about how this sour cream is going to taste in here with the blueberry. All right, so those are in the oven at 350, and the muffins will go for 25 to 30 minutes or so. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing more like this because I know that the 3 areas where we were able to cut our expenses in our house the most were the big ticket items, things like housing, transportation, and food costs. If you can cut in those 3 big areas, you're going to see bigger overall room in your budget to grow. You can then take those savings and put it towards either your debt payoff or your wealth building, or both. If you haven't subscribed already, would you please go ahead and do that so you get notifications of when we have new videos. We do try to post a new video every single week, so be sure you come back. Thank you for coming today. We're so glad you're here. Take care. Bye.